If you're a traveler over 65, you need to watch this video. The airport experience is changing in some major ways, and if you haven't flown in a while, you're in for a surprise. New technologies and airport rules are reshaping the way we travel, and it can feel like an already stressful process is getting even more complicated. But here's what the airlines tell you. Hidden within these changes are perks and rights specifically designed to make the journey easier and safer for senior travelers. You deserve a smooth, stress-free airport day, and these little tips can give you that. Most travelers, especially seniors, might walk into the airport unprepared for this new reality, but you won't be one of them. In this guide, I'm breaking down the biggest changes you need to know so you can walk through the airport with complete confidence, armed with the knowledge to unlock benefits others will miss entirely. The new security gauntlet, biometrics and enhanced screening. Let's start at the security line, which is transforming. When you walk up to security, you may see a camera instead of a TSA officer. In some airports, they'll say, "Step forward for facial match," and a camera flashes. It lasts 2 to 3 seconds. If it feels confusing or the machine doesn't recognize you, don't worry. You can always say, "I prefer a manual ID check," and TSA will place you in the same spot in line. There are no penalties. The new face scan tech sometimes struggles with new glasses, different lighting, or just natural changes in our appearance, and that's why some seniors get slowed down. The important thing is, you know what to expect and how to skip it if you want to. On top of this, there's enhanced screening. These are random, more thorough checks that can happen to anyone, involving a more intensive pat-down or a full bag search. If you ever feel rushed, pause. TSA must give you time. The best solution against stress is time. The old 90-minute rule for a domestic flight just doesn't cut it anymore. For travel after 65, your new baseline should be at least 2 hours for domestic flights and a full 3 hours for international. This buffer is your secret weapon against the stress of new tech and unexpected delays. Your documents are changing. The Real ID, passport, and ETIAS mandates. Now that we've covered security changes, here's the part that actually stops the most seniors from flying. Your documents. The second big change is one that could stop your trip cold. Your documents. After years of delays, the Real ID deadline is locked in. As of May 7, 2025, every American flying domestically must present a Real ID-compliant driver's license or another acceptable form of ID. Your old standard license will be rejected. Here's the key. A shocking number of Americans, including many seniors, still haven't made the switch. If you show up with a non-compliant ID, the TSA will turn you away. The easiest way around this is to use another TSA-accepted ID, like a valid U.S. passport, which works for domestic flights just fine. But that's just for domestic travel. For international trips, 2 other critical things are happening. First, the passport validity rule is strictly enforced. For the Schengen area in Europe, your passport must be valid for at least 3 months beyond your planned departure date. A good trick to remember is to look at the date and ask yourself, will this be valid 3 months after I come home? Many other countries require 6 months of validity. An airline agent will deny you boarding if your passport doesn't meet the requirement of your destination. Second, if you're traveling to 30 countries in Europe, a new system called ETIAS is expected to become mandatory in late 2026. Think of it as a pre-travel clearance. You'll need to apply online before your trip and pay a fee. Without this digital authorization, airlines won't let you board the plane. The solution is to do a document audit right now. First, look at your driver's license. See a star in the upper corner? You're Real ID compliant. If not, get it updated or plan to use your passport. Second, check your passport's expiration date. Finally, if Europe is in your future, put Check ETS status on your pre-travel list. The hidden rules of airport security, what you can and can't bring through. Now that your documents are in order, let's talk about what's your bags. This is where a few little-known rules can catch even experienced travelers by surprise. While rules around removing shoes for all passengers have been relaxed, keep in mind that light jackets may still need to come off to go through the body scanner. Now for the crackdowns, starting with medications. The rules here can be very confusing. While TSA does not require you to keep pills in their original prescription bottles, it is highly recommended to avoid confusion. If you have a pill organizer, agents may say, "Can you open this section for me?" So be ready for a quick check that can add a few minutes. If you have liquid medications over 3.4 ounces, you must declare them to a TSA officer at the start of screening. Also, a rule that still catches people is the powder rule. Any powder-like substance over 12 ounces, about the size of a soda can, must be placed in a separate bin for X-ray screening. Agents may need to open the container. The solution is to pack with precision. Medications. To be safe, keep pills in their original labeled bottles. If you bring a pill organizer, be ready for a potential secondary check. Declare any large liquid medications. Liquids and powders. The 3-1-1 rule for liquids still stands. Add the powder rule to your mental checklist and place any large powder containers in a separate bin. Your new mobility rights, unlocking continuous support and companion access. Now let's talk about the most powerful part of this entire video. Your rights. This is one of the most empowering sections for senior travelers, especially if you have any mobility challenges. It relies on you knowing your rights under the Air Carrier Access Act. A common complaint from seniors who request a wheelchair is fragmented service, getting dropped off at security and left to navigate the chaos alone. This is where a specific request comes in. I need continuous mobility support. When you book your flight or speak to an agent, this phrase clearly communicates your need for uninterrupted assistance from the check-in desk, through security, and all the way to your seat. The airline is required to provide this support, and using this phrase ensures they can't leave you stranded. But what about traveling with a loved one who isn't flying? Here's another useful phrase. I am requesting a companion gate pass. If you require mobility or medical assistance, you can request a gate pass for a non-traveling companion. This allows your designated person to go through security with you and stay at the gate until you board. While this is not a guaranteed right, airlines often grant this accommodation upon request, so it's always worth asking. The catch? You must be proactive. You should request wheelchair assistance at least 48 hours in advance. Same-day requests are increasingly being denied. So, here's the plan. At least 48 hours before your flight, call the airline's accessibility desk. State clearly, I am booking wheelchair service and require continuous mobility support. If you need someone with you, add, I am also requesting a companion gate pass. Reiterate these needs at the check-in counter. The pre-boarding and seating perks airlines don't advertise. Knowing your mobility rights is a game changer, and so is this next part, getting on the plane early and securing a comfortable seat, often for free. Airlines have monetized everything. But here's a crucial piece of information for senior travelers. If you have a mobility need, you are often entitled to these perks for free. Let's talk pre-boarding. Many travelers believe you need a doctor's note or to be in a wheelchair to pre-board. This is false. Under Department of Transportation rules, if you have a disability, which includes mobility challenges common with age, you are entitled to pre-board. At the gate, approach the agent before boarding begins. Most seniors simply walk up to the podium and say, I have a mobility need and would like to pre-board. That's it. You don't need to give your medical history. This lets you get on the plane, store your bag, and settle in without pressure. Now, for seats. The DOT has clarified that airlines must provide accessible seating to passengers with disabilities. The solution is to call the airline's accessibility desk after you book. Explain your needs, like, I have a mobility issue and require an aisle seat. Airlines must make a reasonable effort to provide a seat that meets your needs at no extra cost. This doesn't guarantee a free upgrade to a premium seat, but it does mean they should work to get you into an appropriate seat. We've covered a ton, from new security tech to secret phrases that unlock better service specifically for senior travelers. If you're finding this valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want to keep getting insider travel tips like these, make sure you subscribe. We have much more to share to make your travels as smooth as possible. Medical exemptions and onboard health. Staying safe at 30,000 feet. Now that you're comfortable, let's focus on your health, both at security and at 30,000 feet. Your health comes first, and the rules are designed to accommodate that. If you have a medical device like a pacemaker, insulin pump, or a metal joint, you might worry about the new security scanners. The solution is simple. Carry a medical device notification card from your doctor or the device manufacturer. Before screening, discreetly inform the TSA officer about your device and show them the card. They can then direct you to an alternative screening process, like a pat-down, which avoids the scanner altogether. Next is your health on the flight itself. A serious risk on long flights, particularly for seniors, is deep vein thrombosis, DVT. Health experts now strongly recommend that senior travelers wear compression socks to improve blood flow. Think of it as a standard part of your travel uniform for any flight over 4 hours. Another tip is the 1-hour rule. While not an official regulation, it's critical advice for anyone over 65. Never book a flight connection that's less than 1 hour long. With massive airports and potential delays, always look for layovers of at least 90 minutes. Finally, airports are slowly adding more passenger wellness facilities. Many are installing hydration stations and designated rest zones. Some are even creating dedicated accessibility or sensory lounges, quiet spaces for travelers with disabilities who feel overwhelmed. Check your airport's map online before you fly to see what they offer. The secret perks of delays and disruptions. Finally, let's turn a travel nightmare into a hidden opportunity. Here's what you need to know when your flight is delayed. During a long delay, the gate area is crowded and uncomfortable. While it is not a formal policy or a right, one of the most valuable things a gate agent can sometimes offer is a complimentary lounge pass. Here's how you ask. If your flight is delayed over 2 hours and the gate is overwhelming, politely and discreetly approach the agent. Say something like, "This long delay is proving very difficult for me. I know it's a long shot, but would there be any possibility of getting a pass to the airline's lounge to wait?" The worst they can say is no. But often, for a senior traveler who is clearly having a difficult time, a compassionate agent will help. You deserve a comfortable place to wait. Also, don't forget about those airport-operated accessibility or sensory lounges we mentioned. Go to an airport information desk and ask, "Does this airport have an accessibility lounge or a quiet room I could use?" Finally, know your rights when it comes to baggage. If you're rebooked and the airline says your checked bag won't make it, insist they retrieve it if it contains essential medications. They cannot force you to gate check a carry-on with medical necessities. The world of air travel is definitely changing. New tech and stricter rules can seem daunting, but as we've seen, every challenge comes with a hidden opportunity. Let's quickly recap. First, update your ID and passport. Pack your bags with the rules in mind. And most importantly, give yourself the gift of time. Second, using clear phrases like continuous mobility support, and requesting a companion gate pass are effective ways to get the accommodations you need to make your journey smoother. Finally, don't be shy about asking for a better seat, inquiring about a lounge pass, or informing an agent about a medical device. Traveling after 65 in this new era doesn't have to be a headache. Armed with this information, you're not just another passenger. You're an informed, confident senior traveler, ready to navigate any airport with ease. What's the biggest travel concern you have as a senior traveler? Share it in the comments below. Your questions help our whole community of travelers travel smarter. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more guides to help you travel with confidence.